All right, thank you for staying at Daybreak. The conversation starts right now. My guests are with me. I'll start with the upper deck. There we have Newton Hamasi, the Secretary General, Western Professionals Caucus. Thank you very much for making time. Derek Troy Rusana is the UNSA President, University of Nairobi Students Association President. Asante sana for making time. We also have CPA Douglas Muhati, a convener, Youth Affairs, and ISPAC, that is the Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Thank you very much for making time. Sheila Olang is here. She's an economist and development expert. Asante sana for making time. And Sylvia Odalo, a community mobilizer. Thank you very much for making time. And Newton, I'll start with you. There seems to be a lot of anger in the country, especially from the young people. What is your assessment of how the police have handled the death of Albert Ojwang?
Good morning, Trevor. And first of all, thank you for having me here today. I want to pass my sincere condolences to the family of Albert Ojwang. This death was not necessary. It cannot be imagined. But here we are. We have lost a young soul, a young generation, a promising soul for this country to have been terminated in such a manner. Trevor, as we sit here today as young people, every second, every minute, every hour, and every day that passes along with the DIG of police still in office is a threat, and it does not guarantee the safety of many young people, myself included. And for anything to move forward, we need to have the DIG and the DCI director resign or step aside from their positions for the young people of this country and for the nation to get justice with this issue of Albert Ojwang. It has been handled in a picky-ponky manner. That is, instead of getting justice for the family, it is taking us in circles and innuendos. Something that is so shocking is that when the responsibility of the Ministry of Interior that lies squarely to the CAS Murkomen, when it comes to him taking up the responsibility as the leader, as the head of that ministry, he starts siding himself and saying, no, this is not a policy issue. But when things go the other way and they want to handle the matter, you find the CS hands-on. Why is he trying to sideline himself from this specific matter of Albert Ojwang? And that's why we are saying, as young people, the more these people continue staying in those offices, our safety is not guaranteed.
Okay.
Yes.
Troy? How has this been handled?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Trevor. I sit here today, this morning, and I sit here from the University of Nairobi with over 55,000 plus students. And we interact with these students every day. And every day, the interaction is usually based on what is happening in the country. So right now, the outrage and what it is there amongst the youth is that the matter has not been handled particularly well, because there is a form of injustice that has taken place in police custody. That is the problem. And even Martin Luther King says that when injustice takes place at any point in time, that is a threat to justice everywhere. So it has not been handled well. And my sincere condolences to the family and friends of Albert, because they are victims of a failed system that has not been kind to them. So the matter has not been handled well. And what the youth want, or what young people want, is when heads are rolling, let not be heads rolling out of distraction. Let it be justice that is particularly served well, and justice that the right guidelines are followed. And let us not at times also use the death of the family to also push other agendas, so that we make other things out of the death of a very young person and somebody who was very brilliant. And we need to take the right steps and ensure that justice is served, and ensure that the family also gets justice, because this is not just a reflection of Albert's death, it's also a reflection of the state of security in the country and how police handle most matters. It's only that Albert's death has amplified what has been taking place for a very long time.
Okay.
Yes.
Douglas?
Okay, thank you very much, Trevor, for having me here today. And first of all, I want to pass my condolences to the family of Albert Ojwang. It's a very unfortunate death. It shouldn't have happened. And from where I'm sitting as a young person, I believe the police should have done better the police are the ones to provide security for us. And when they arrest us and they kill us in the cells and try to hide it, I think that's not the right way of doing it, because they are the ones charged with the security of our citizens. So if they are the ones who are tampering with our security and even killing us without even taking us to court, however serious the crime is, I believe that shouldn't have happened. Albert Ojwang was not a serious criminal as it is. It was just a social media post. Who even takes a keen look at social media and puts it into action. People post everything on social media, but then treating Albert as a serious criminal, I think that was going overboard, and they just amplified what was not supposed to be amplified. And I really side with Albert's family, and I want to say that if I don't speak up today, nobody will speak up for me tomorrow. So we have to speak up against that injustice, against Albert, and let justice prevail.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sheila?
I think it's a very sad time for our country, because at no point are we going to allow that this becomes the norm. I also would like to start by passing my condolences to Albert and Albert's family. But this is now becoming too much. If you ask me, a lot of us are enraged. A lot of us have the thin level of trust that we had left in the state, in the security forces, is now completely eroded. In fact, I was having discussions with other young people saying, today, if a police officer, for whatever reason, valid, invalid, comes to my home and tries to take anybody I know, we will not allow it. And you see, now we are interfering with police procedures because they're abusing power. It cannot be that everybody that we lost last year when we were in the streets demonstrating are still not accounted for in terms of justice. And now we are coming to this year. And I would like to say that, you know, Albert was arrested. Albert was killed because of misinformation, apparently, that he was giving. Then you have a whole Inspector General of Police coming in, the first statement that they gave, complete lies that they give, and now they want to backtrack from it. I mean, if they're going to say that young people on social media are not supposed to be spreading misinformation, they should be the first one not spreading misinformation. We are not stupid as young people, right? So taking accountability, taking responsibility, and I would like to concur with everybody else who has been sitting here and saying, we need to see bold steps being taken, especially in this particular case. We had the BBC Blood Parliament documentary literally putting a face and showing you who did what. Nothing is yet to be done. Today we have a case where it's quite clear. Why can't somebody take the initiative and say, hey, it's involving the DIG? Move aside, even if it's 2 weeks, just so we figure out what is going on. But when he's sitting there in a press conference, lying to us, and he's standing right behind the Inspector General with a population that already does not trust the state, that doesn't help. And it's just a signal that we are taking for granted, Trevor. But we're more than 70% of the population of this country. I think that's one thing they always need to remember. Okay.
And we'll talk about that in just a bit. But Sylvia, what are your assessments of this? Because we know some people have been told that they're on the spot. There's going to be taken to court. There's a police officer who's been arrested. Is that enough?
I don't think that is enough, Trevor, because first of all, I'll start by sending my condolences to the family of Albert Ojwang, our son, the son of the soil. He never deserved that death. In my knowledge, much have not been done, because what is the IG of the police still doing in the office? I think he should have resigned long ago, because Kenya is governed by the rule of law. And I think that is what we should be following. Yeah.
Okay. And Newton, there's this general narrative, especially from the police, that not everyone is bad. It's not all the police officers who are horrible. It's just a few bad apples. And now we know that IPO has taken a bit of a position on this. There's someone who's been arrested. There are those who are supposed to be lined up for prosecution. Isn't that a step in the right direction? Or is there a general mistrust from the public that it doesn't matter what they do, that they're damned if they do, damned if they don't?
Trevor, I want to join hands with the people who who was saying, I think we need to do a very big overhaul of the training capabilities of these police officers, all the way from Kingajo. Because, you know, I usually say garbage in, garbage out. If you put in people and you train them on the worst curriculum, then they will not do anything better outside here. And this head starts rotting from the top. You cannot come and tell us you have arrested one Muhwana, police constable at Central Police. This guy, Albert, the late, was picked from a complaint. Up to now, Trevor, we have not been told what type of complaint was it like. No one has given us a screenshot. With this digital era, Trevor, if I post something today, in the next second, someone will have a screenshot of it. Do you have a screenshot of whatever Albert posted?
They say that he alleged that the DIG is corrupt.
He alleged. The allegation must be proven. Can the DIG show us the screenshot? Because I believe when he went to make a complaint, Trevor, he must have had a screenshot to go and say, Mr. Albert has said this and this and this and this.
The X account was deleted, but yeah.
Who deleted it? You got me? Yeah. Those are the information you're asking. And that is why we are saying this egg is rotten everywhere. And I think we just need to do a retraining of all police officers in this country. Because if we continue this way, we are not going to have a country to guard. And something, Trevor, about this police service that we have, they know how to gaslight. They are gaslighting young people. And we are speaking right now, the head of the police service, that is the Inspector General Kanja, is telling us, he has the guts to tell us that Mr. DIG Lagat is not going to resign until this happens. Trevor, I want to take you back to 2024. You know, when Gen Z started protesting, they mentioned very clearly that we don't want this in this finance bill. They said we are not going to edit. Even a comma, we are not going to do it. It went to the next stage. Gen Z said, don't approve this. The government, even the police, the politicians at that particular moment, they were like, no, we are not going to do it until the president himself called members of parliament in State House. Instead of withdrawing this bill, he said we are not going to do it. He's tried to amend. Things were worse. With this case of Albert Ojwang, Trevor, right now, as young people, we are saying, DIG Lagat, step aside for us young people to feel like the family of Albert Ojwang has gotten justice. Tomorrow, that demand will not be the same. And if they don't take it as a very polite advice, it is upon them. But they keep gaslighting young people day in, day out. Okay. With the statements you are getting from DCI director, how he's expressing himself on this matter, they are coming here to discuss the issue of Albert Ojwang in parliament, and they leave laughing. They leave the parliament premises laughing without emotional concern of what the country is going through with the murder, the brutal murder of Albert Ojwang. And therefore, this is my small message to the police service. Stop gaslighting young people. Because this time round, I don't think we are going to take a step back. It is going to be serious, more than serious, and we will demand the resignation from the CS Interior, CS Murkomen. It will be from the top all the way down. Okay. Because we have tried to tell them, tell DIG Lagat to step aside. They are telling us he's not going to step aside until, by the time we get to that until, Trevor, I'm telling you, we will want the whole system out. Okay. And I don't believe that is where the country wants to go.
Okay. Troy, what is the solution to all this? Because there are those who are saying that it's sort of a standoff between the young people and those in authority. Some of them want them to step aside, but even if they do, who comes in? Is that person even better? Is it an institutional rot? Is it an individual rot? What is the solution from the young people's perspective?
Trevor, the the solution right now, and the beauty with young people is that we are the best of communicators. And the communication is quite clear, I think. And even last year when people were demonstrating on the finance bill, the communication was also clear that it is not amendments, it is not anything else, just do away with the whole thing. Again, this time, the communication is clear. Even for people who are in relationships, what makes a successful relationship is the ability of somebody to communicate well. And you are communicating clearly, but the difference is the people we are communicating to, they don't like listening. If you tell somebody that so-and-so should resign and should resign immediately, the conversation is usually, let us wait, let us see, let us gauge. I think they should learn from past mistakes that if you don't listen to the communication from the young people, then things will not be operated like they always operate. And I think the demonstration yesterday was, in fact, a facade of what might come if they don't keep on listening. Because ideally in an investigation, if there is a person of interest, the person of interest should not be involved in even a press conference that involves that his name is mentioned anywhere. But there are clauses that until this happen, it's like somebody who goes into, when you go to the river and you're testing, does the river, is it full of crocodiles, or what can happen to me? How deep is it? That is what the government is trying to do. And we see posts from senior government officials. Everybody is trying to condole. Everyone is trying to condole. Or everyone is saying it is unacceptable. They're saying it is unacceptable, but things are still operating normally. Okay? Then we take a few people, we blame them, then the whole thing. It's the whole police system. And it's an institutional rot, like you've stated, because this is not the first time that somebody has been in custody and mishandled by the police. I come from University of Nairobi, and I come straight from American Wing, next to Central Police. There are times when you hear screams from the cells, just opposite. We share a wall with Central Police. You hear screams just next to it, and you wonder, what is going on? Is there a mad person who has been detained, or is somebody being tortured in there? So when institutions that are meant to protect the citizens fail to do so when somebody dies in their hand, I think that should be declared as a national emergency. Because this is not a normal situation. It's not somebody who went out and was killed. He died in the hands of those who are supposed to protect him. Yeah. So it's an entire institutional rot, and the process should not be let us take so-and-so to Parliament, let us take so-and-so to Senate to be vetted by a committee. The process should be investigations, and what investigation involves is that if you're involved and if you're part of what is entirely involved, then you should entirely step aside. Okay. But secluding a few people to step aside, OCS tell them that you're commanding the station, you gave a wrong report, step aside. These officers, you are the ones who handled, step aside. So it's like the cutting edge gets to somewhere. It just gets to somewhere. Then they say, now this is where we draw the line. We don't go past here. It does not work like that. Okay,
but Douglas, is that the solution? Because you see, it's true that the young people are demanding certain things and they're very clear in their demands, but where do you draw the line then? Because there are those who've said, even Murkomen himself, the CS, says that as soon as it was only about 2 months in office and there was already calls for him to resign. So even if he leaves and someone else comes in, will that be the solution? Because the chorus will be the same. So what is the long-lasting solution from a young person's perspective?
Okay, thank you. From where I'm sitting, the long-lasting solution, first of all, I would want to say the body is as ill as the head. So first of all, we need to get goodwill from the top leadership. We are just, if a staff down here is doing anything, it's just a reflection of the leadership, the top leadership. So Lagat is a DIG, Deputy Inspector General of Police. He's second in command in police ranking. So when you see officers or anybody doing anything, definitely it will have blessings of the DIG, it will have blessings of the IG, or it will have the blessings of the top leadership. And I want to ask our president, he's been so much vocal on stopping these abductions and this mishandling of the young people, or even those people who have taken to cells. Why can't we act? Instead of just saying, why can't we act? Do we have goodwill of what we are saying, or we are just saying to please people we are saying so that people can listen to know that this is what we are thinking. But is it what we are going to do, or is it what we are doing? So to some point, there's no goodwill in the speeches that we receive from these leaders. They just speak because they want the electorate to know that they are speaking and they are very much concerned, but there's nothing they're doing behind it. When you say something, you should be able to do whatever you are saying. So my call or my thought is that this government needs to act the way they are saying, not just saying alone and leaving it there. They need to act. And when we see Lagat in a press conference, DIG, addressing the same matter, when he's a person of interest also in that matter, what does that mean? Are you trying to clean yourself from the mess, or are we trying to say, okay, I accused Albert of this, but this is what I did? What should have been done is the DIG should have been asked to step aside, not even resign, just step aside, so that investigations can be done without intimidation, without any kind of duress or any coercion. Because if I'm their complainant and I'm still in office when something amiss has happened, like now Albert has died and I'm the complainant, why should I step aside so that I give my statements when I'm outside, to just give an independent view or an independent accusation or claim of what happened? Because this police report to the DIG is the one, I would want to say, is the one who ordered them to go and arrest Albert. But then, if he's the one who ordered them and he's the complainant, we really, like, we are just moving into circles. I'm not on the wrong side, I'm on the right, I did this, you know. That's not bringing out the correct, the way these things need to be done.
Okay.
Yep.
And Sheila, where's the space for individual responsibility? I keep asking whether there's a lasting solution to this, because the rallying call doesn't stop. Now the rallying call is DIG must step aside. If that happens, the next rallying call will be IG must step aside. Even if that happens, the next rallying call will be CS must step aside. And even if that happens, then the next rallying call is President Ruto must go. So at what point does it stop?
It will not stop until justice is served.
But who decides?
It will not stop, Trevor, until justice is served. Every human being and every life in this country is precious. And I think we have let them get away with the fact that some are children of a lesser God. We are not children of a lesser God. We are not. So yes, if person A steps aside and we still don't get to the point of justice, we move on to the next, and we move on to the next. And again, back to last year, that's exactly what happened. You know, I don't know why the leadership here feels like the young people in this country don't want the best for the country, and yet the country will be left to us. Sometimes they feel like we are the ones trying to destroy everything. No, we are fighting for a better future. In fact, it's quite the opposite. We are trying to say the direction in which you're going is the direction that will not leave us a country in the next 20, 30 years that will be a viable, prosperous Kenya. So what we are doing now, and they should not be threatened, sometimes they politicize too much of somebody's death. You know, they always say when you have a death at the neighbor's compound, you have the luxury of politicizing that death until it comes to your own doorstep. And we have seen this. We have seen deaths that affect them, and they were investigated. There was arrests of everybody at every powerful situation. Everybody was crying out. Governors were speaking. Everybody was speaking right from the jump until we had 10, 13 people arrested. Persons of interest, step aside. People are not allowed into, you know, territories where these things happened. And then comes a young person, Ojwang, because of a tweet, because of a publication on social media. That is his crime, and he shows up dead. And then you come to us, you gaslight us, trying to give false statements. If you ask me, a starting point is the person who showed up, the Inspector General showed up and read lies to the country. What is the consequence of that? He showed up in front of us and read lies. And I say this because the post-mortem demonstrated that he was lying. Until now, what is the consequence of that? I saw that he apologized. That's a good first step. but you have to take responsibility. You say that what Albert said that was not true led you to drive 400 kilometers out of Nairobi, right? And back using our taxes to then go and kill him. Now you stand in front of the whole nation and then you read as a statement of a complete lie. So what are we supposed to do with you? So no, the buck stops at the point of justice. And I think that's the message we're trying to send here very clearly. It's not a personal threat to you, whatever position you hold. You can keep holding it if you just do the right thing. And I think that's why they should give us a bit more credit for good faith. We don't have somebody we are trying to replace you with or whatever the deal is. You can keep it as long as, for us, the buck stops with you do your job, you do it well. There are millions of qualified people in Kenya who can do that job, by the way. So it's not like there's lack of anybody else. You know, there's literally somebody with your exact CV, your exact blood pressure, and your exact weight who can still do that job. Get them to do it. Move aside, right? We have seen interference because he was standing at that press conference. So he has already demonstrated to us that he's already interfering. So all we're saying is step aside, and we need justice. We need answers.
Okay. Sylvia, lasting solutions from your perspective?
Lasting solution. I don't think we have a lasting solution, Trevor, because the whole system is rotten. I don't know what is so special about the police IG that I don't know the strong men that are behind him, that he walks with this courage that he's walking with. And in Kenya, there's nobody who is above the law. The IG should have been arrested, taken to court of law, because he's not above the law. And kindly, we are asking the police not to provoke the young people, because we are being provoking. So when you provoke us, we will light the whole of this country into fire. Yes.
Okay. Linton, I have to take a break, commercial break. I know you have something to add, but let's take a quick break, then come back. And we're talking about all these things mixed at the same time, because yesterday there were two main events that happened. There was the protest in demonstration of the death of Albert Ojwang. There was also the budget that was read by CS John Mbadi. Do the young people feel like their aspirations are reflected in the budget? Do they feel like they're cushioned enough? We'll talk about that when we come back. We'd also like to hear your views at Trevor Mbidi at Citizen TV Kenya. Use the hashtag Daybreak. Also, where are we heading as a country politically? Is it the right direction? Is it the wrong direction? And do the young people have a chance to change the political destiny of this country? That conversation coming up in just a bit.